apologize for the lateness of our supplies and our information, but client kind of dragged their feet. What? But we got everything together. You have all of our information. There's 4 different guidebooks and 4 different deduction forms, because there's 2 sets of benefits for each of the locations. So you'll go through all that when we go through the training. But yeah, we just are very grateful for your help. And if you have any questions, let us know. Nellie and Lauren will be here from my office. They're here on the call. We'll be at the Miami offices for the 2 days as well.
Okay, great. Maribel, I'll turn it over to you. Is there anything you'd like to say about the company or the expected enrollment for the enrollers benefit?
We recently acquired actually 2 restaurants in Orlando. We just opened up a Sbarro's in Georgia, and we opened up a Pizza Hut in Virginia. So I'm kind of hoping that we have like a good turnout, especially since the rates have changed. So I'm kind of hoping that a lot of people enroll. Probably, I would say, an additional 25 or so, or maybe even more.
Okay. Yeah, I was at the Orlando location last year, and I can say from my standpoint at least, the manager was very helpful in getting everyone through, at least to get them in front of us for their little 15, 20-minute session with us. And we saw, I think, every single person at that location. And I think that was consistent with all the locations last year. So if that happens again this year, and they were really cooperative, so I'm sure that it will. Well, if we get an opportunity to see everyone, then we'll have the same chance to educate them on the entire benefits package, including the medical, and take their enrollment. So certainly with more employees to speak to, then that's our mission, is to see everyone and to communicate the whole package. So that's the objective here.
Great. I sent a memo out that Morrison Reynolds prepared for me. I sent it out on Friday so that they can go ahead and give it to, was it Friday or Thursday? So they can give it to all their employees, to their managers, make sure that they schedule an appointment. And I stressed how important it is for them to make their appointments to facilitate everybody, and it be on a timely basis, and you don't have people standing around. There's always going to be a few that are going to go ahead and do that anyway, but hopefully that'll work. My biggest challenge is in Virginia.
Okay.
Because there's a language barrier there. So sometimes it may take a little longer to explain it to an individual employee because they don't understand much about how things work in the United States, and they're not sure.
Okay.
So that's my biggest, the location that kind of worries me the most, as far as them really understanding what we're putting out there and it's available for them to use to enroll.
Okay. Tim was also there last year. He's going back again this year, along with Dan. Tim, do you recall difficulty communicating with the employees, or maybe we just need to take a little bit more time with them this year?
Yeah, I don't recall being a big problem last year with the people that I met as far as communication. It was just a problem with getting them to actually come by and sit down with me. But having a sign-up sheet where they can sign up ahead of time, that's obviously going to be a big help.
Okay. Well, Maribel, we'll definitely take some extra time. Knowing that in advance is helpful. We'll take some extra time with those employees and do what we can to communicate the message.
Yeah, like Tim said, it's hard to get them to sit down with someone because most of them have 2 to 3 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're in our restaurant and they have to, their shift is over and they have to run to the next job, or they're coming in. I mean, that's also a difficult thing, because they have 2 to 3 jobs in the same airport, which is, for them, it's good because they just go from one unit to the other.
Right. Okay. Well, we also do have a call center available as well for employees that were not able to meet with us. And we'll have Christina from our office communicate that out to you. Generally, what we like to do is, since we're out there during open enrollment for a couple of days, we've got a kind of a captive audience. We just try to see every single person that we can, and then we'll send out a communication piece to you for the call center so that employees that missed us still have another opportunity. And that's a perfect example. Someone that can't meet with us because they're going to the next job. All right. So on the screen, everybody is viewing the GoToMeeting here. I've pulled up you can see the Miami Orlando employee guide hourly. As Julie mentioned, there are 4 benefits guides depending on the person and the location. And I'll just go through the hourly ones with you at this time. But all of these materials that I'm going to review with you today are in the training invitation that I sent out for this call. And then I can certainly send these via email to you guys as well. So I'm just going to take a few minutes. The objective here is to review the core benefits being offered. These benefit guides are very helpful with that because otherwise you're looking at a whole bunch of multi-page documents, specific to each plan, which is nice for the details, but high level, this is a very good document to review, I feel, for trainings. This document you're viewing, all 4 benefits guides and the enrollment form for the core benefits, which was in that invite as well, will be there for you on site. Okay. Morrison Reynolds has made those arrangements to have those documents there for you. So the core benefits, you'll see when we get through this, the core benefits are enrolled on that enrollment form. The voluntary benefits were only really documenting deductions because they're going to be enrolled in All App. So I'm going to review the core benefits, and I'll take any input from you, Maribel, or from Morris Reynolds on these because I'm, not an expert at your benefits specifically, but I'll run through the core benefits with everyone. We'll take a look at the voluntary products as well. And then Maribel, if you want to drop off, that's fine. We're going to just go review the All App system, which is the system that we use to take the worksite elections. So we don't really need you for that part, but for this part, certainly.
Okay.
All right, so this is a 20-page document. Now, not all of this is relating to benefits. Some of it has to do with other, things like eligibility and so on, which I guess is benefits related, but, other options as well. Contact information is in here. All types of disclosure information is in here as well. So I'm going to try to kind of scan through here. This is an introduction page, talks about the open enrollment. The effective date is April 1st, 2018. And for this, hourly employees, Miami, Orlando, these are the options that are available to them. So this is their one opportunity to enroll in the plans and also to make changes to the plans. Who's eligible? 30 hours a week or more is important to know. How to enroll. We're going to be on site. When to enroll, the dates, and how to make changes. After open enrollment, of course, they need a qualified life event to make changes to the core benefits. New hire eligibility, qualified events, and then dependents. So choosing medical Again, very helpful information. Things to consider are out-of-pocket expenses, premiums, deductibles, co-insurance, all of that. People these days are becoming more and more educated consumers when it comes to healthcare, which is a good thing. Emergency room, urgent care. So these are kind of definitions and things that, where do I go for what kind of treatments? And then for this group, this is United Healthcare, again, Orlando, Miami hourly employees, there are 3 medical options. So you can see the copays across each plan, and it'll be helpful to either print this out yourself or grab a copy at the location for reference too. So you have the copays for primary care and specialists on all 3, individual and family deductibles, and then the co-insurance either.
Quick question: are the deductibles and out-of-pocket maxes embedded or aggregate?
So the question is, is the deductible and out-of-pocket, or is the deductible an embedded deductible or an aggregate deductible across family members?
Yeah.
And that's either for Maribel or Morris Reynolds. I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't have the answer to that as well. It must be Morrison Reynolds.
It doesn't specify that it's not. Embedded is when you have to make a family before.
Yeah, you have to meet the family deductible, even if you're the only one even if an individual is the only one using it.
It's not embedded.
So you can meet your $1,000. Okay, gotcha.
All right, we'll get confirmation and circle back. That's a good question, though. That does come up, and a lot of documents like these don't describe that exactly. So, good question. Out-of-pocket maximums, individual and family as well, across all 3 plans. So hospitalization. So after you meet your deductible on this plan, you have 20% co-insurance after deductible if you're going into the hospital. On the second plan here, you have a copay plus the deductible. And then once you meet your deductible on the third plan here, in network, you have 100% coverage. And then same applies for outpatient surgery. And I don't need to read each one of these to you, but you can see the difference in the plans very clearly here. Urgent care copays, $75, $50, and $50 plus deductible in network. Prescriptions, 20, 40, 60. So this generally is generics, preferred brand names, and non-preferred brand names. 20, 40, 60, 10, 30, 50, and 10, 30, 50. And then I believe everyone is bi-weekly here. Is that right, Maribel?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So these are the bi-weekly rates for the medical plan options. So, the richer the plan, obviously the more expensive the premium is, which makes sense. Definition of a primary care physician. Referrals are not required for specialists. And there is behavioral health included. On the prescriptions, they call them tiers. So I said generic, non-preferred, and preferred brand names, preferred and non-preferred. They're referring it to tier 1, 2, and 3. So 20, 40, 60, 10, 30, 50. Has that changed at all from from the current year?
No.
Okay. All right, dental plan, $1,000 per person, calendar year maximum. That's pretty standard. No office visit copay. That's nice. Annual deductible, $50 for the individual, $150 for the family. Preventive services covered at 100%, generally with no deductible for preventive services. 80% for basic services and 50% for major. Of course, those are after your $50 deductible. That is pretty standard in the industry as well. Orthodontia is not included here, and then you have the rates biweekly. And then the vision plan, $10 copay for the eye exam, $25 copay for materials. You get a $130 frame allowance, and then you get $105 allowance for contact lenses. Discount on LASIK, and you can see the frequency of the services. Eye exam once a year, frames every 2 years, contact lenses every year. Again, pretty standard. And there's the rates, bi-weekly. And then we have the voluntary products. These are the plans being offered: accident, hospital indemnity, critical illness, voluntary term life, and universal life. And we'll go into more details now, actually. But this is good high-level information. The rest of this really is definitions and that compliance verbiage I was talking about earlier. Maribel, is there anything in particular that the enroller should be aware of when it comes to this verbiage?
No.
Okay. Really for the employee's benefit to have on hand, though.
Scott and everyone, I got the answer. They are embedded deductibles.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So let me pull up well, actually, let's quickly review the other one. So this is Atlanta, Key West, Virginia, also hourly, because their plans are slightly different. There's 2 medical options. And I'll just go through this quickly here. All right, there we go. All right, so 40 and 80 on the copays for the doctor's visits, and 25.50. So totally different plans than we were looking at before. So that's Atlanta, Virginia, and Key West. Deductible $2,500, $5,000, or $2,000, $4,000, and then 70% coinsurance or 80% on this plan. Out-of-pocket maximums $6,000 and $4,500. And then what happens if you go into the hospital? You have 30% coinsurance after your deductible, or 20% coinsurance. Imaging, $200 copay or 20% after deductible. Emergency room, $500 or $100. Urgent care, 20, 40, 60, and 10, 30, 50. So the prescriptions are the same on those plans too. And then there is your biweekly rates. Some definitions: 20, 40, 60, 10, 30, 50. Dental and vision, Maribel, are they the same across?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Okay. All right. And then, of course, the work site is the same too. So let me go into that. So I attached in the training guide or in the training invitation several documents just so that you had information. So you have the benefits guides on the core benefits. You have the enrollment forms, which I'll touch on here in a second after we get through the all-state benefits. And then you have the all-state proposals. On those, I have more detail to provide, so I did. So we have the group universal life with long-term care, so permanent insurance, it's portable. The riders that we have here are accidental death benefit rider, which doubles the face amount in the event of an accidental death. Accelerated death benefit for long-term care. So this is the long-term care element. You guys are all familiar with this, but long-term care pays 4% of the death benefit on a monthly basis for 25 months if they ever had the need. for a long-term care facility or home health care. And then accelerated death benefit for terminal illness, they can receive up to 75% of the face amount if they're diagnosed with a terminal illness.
This section is new. We didn't have this before.
This is a new product, that's correct.
Yeah.
New,
Most like a lot of people, at least in this office, may be interested in that.
yeah, it's a nice product because of the fact that it's guarantee issue. Well, there's a couple health questions to get into it, nothing major, but it's a permanent policy. So once you sign up for the policy, the rates don't increase. They can take it with them if they retire. There is cash value that builds up in the policy, and we can actually show them the projected cash value at age. What the system does is it shows you the projected cash value at age 65. So if I buy a $50,000 policy, not only do I have a death benefit, I also have long-term care, and I also have some cash value later on down the road. So yeah, this is a new benefit for this year, not offered last year. This is the group shop, hospital indemnity, we call it shop, but currently there is an individual shop, individual hospital indemnity in place, but also discontinued it. So we are putting in the group shop. It's the same thing. It's the same setup, basically. From the individual policy, we tried to tailor it as closely as we could to what's already out there. So the people that already have it, they can keep it. If new applicants want to purchase the hospital indemnity, though, this is what they're going to be looking at. So this is the initial confinement benefit if they're hospitalized for any reason. And there's actually two options. I didn't pull up the other one. And then the daily benefit is $4.95 a day. Same thing with intensive care. Of course, with hospital indemnity, there's all kinds of other benefits as well. So you have surgery benefit, anesthesia, inpatient physician, and so on. These are monthly premiums, but when you go in the system, they're set up as biweekly.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's one of my concerns, especially when I get to deduct monies from the employees.
Mm-hmm.
I need some kind of, whether it's your amount is biweekly or is it monthly or is it 13 months?
Right. So in the system, is Christina on here? I don't know if she's able to join or not, but in the system, we've loaded everyone as biweekly. So when we pull that deduction report from the system, that is what's going to be indicated. Also, on those benefit enrollment forms, the actual sign-up sheets, the benefit enrollment forms provided to us for all lines, including the Allstate benefits, those will be indicated as biweekly too. Because basically, the enroller is going to sign them up in the system, and then just transfer that deduction amount over to the paper. So whether
will the employee know how much they're going to be paying biweekly, or?
They will know because it's in the system, and it will also be on that form as well.
Okay.
That's right. Now, are you going to be starting deductions from the paper forms, or would you for the Allstate products, or would you like a payroll file from us? I don't recall what we did last time.
I don't recall. I think you guys sent us an Excel spreadsheet.
That sounds right, because that's what we would normally do. So that's how you're starting.
I think.
We'll do that.
We gather the papers and set up everything for all the other benefits, Scott, and
Yes.
then I think you sent us the Excel so that we could confirm
Okay.
those.
All right. That's what we'll do. Christina is our account manager, Christina Bell, and she's apparently tied up here. So I'll confirm that with her too. Oh, so here it is. There's the other group hospital indemnity policy. It's basically a high and a low. So this is the low plan, $830 initial confinement, $330 a day, and then similar benefits for the rest. And you'll see this, guys, when we go into the system. High-low on that. Accident plan, again, already in place, 24-hour accident, one option, $2,000 hospital confinement if they're involved in an accident, and then daily confinement, $400, intensive care doubles. And then with, as you're familiar with the accident plans, there are a lot of benefits to this. So not only does it help pay for the hospitalization, it also helps pay for a lot of other things, including the injury itself, broken bones, dislocations, eye injuries, burns, etc. There's also an accidental death benefit, $60,000. So if they have this and the universal life insurance, and it's an accident that causes their demise, then there's quite a bit that can add up there for life insurance. Emergency room, outpatient physician treatment, $50. So that basically means any doctor's visit outside of the hospital. It could be a dental visit. It could be a vision doctor. It could be a sick visit to a doctor. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a preventive checkup to a doctor. But Allstate pays $50. And you can see the long list of benefits here on the accident plan. And then again, the rates will be biweekly in the system to be transferred over to the form. So that's group SHOP, or group hospital indemnity, universal life insurance, the accident plan, and I am missing one here, but I'll pull it up while we look at this for a second. Let's see. This enrollment form that you're seeing, these were also printed and delivered to the locations by Morris Reynolds here. Again, you have to be careful of which form you're filling out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that again. You have to be careful which form you're filling out. Because you have one for hourly and you have one for salaried, and of course you have location. But the main thing is this hourly salary here. We want to make sure we're completing the right form. So anyway, basic information, you can just have the employee fill this out while you're talking to them about the plans. For most people, well, actually, this is a question. If they're currently on a plan, let's just say the medical plan, and they're dropping the medical plan that they have today. All right, let's say they don't want any medical insurance at all. Are we still indicating open enrollment here, or other, like what happens in that example where they're terminating something they have today? And this is for either Maribel or Morris Reynolds.
It's open enrollment.
It's going to be open enrollment. Okay. All right. Good to know. All right, and so you're checking the boxes indicating who the person is and what they're electing, basically, or what they're changing. Again, very specific to the locations and the fact that this person is salaried, but there's biweekly rates for, in this example, the two plans or declining coverage. Again, anytime that we're doing paper, it's very important that you're completing every field that can be completed here. Dental plan, only one option, or decline. Same thing with the vision. And then biweekly deduction for the Allstate plans. Again, you're going to pull that over from All-App to populate that, and it's already going to be biweekly in the system. Beneficiaries, we'll have the employee complete this as well. And then So if they're waiving the medical plan, we need a reason. So they should indicate a reason. Again, this is something that's important for tracking and ACA purposes, all kinds of reasons. So we want to make sure that we get an answer here if they're declining the medical. Very important to capture this. And then authorization verbiage. Certify that all information is true and complete to the best of my knowledge, and so on, and then they sign a date. These forms will go to the on-site manager when you're finished. Okay. So before just handing them over, please review them, at the end of your term on site to make sure that every field is completed. Actually, you should be doing that when you're meeting with the employees. When they hand that form back to you, just glance over it, make sure everything is completed, make sure it's signed, so we don't have to go tracking anyone down. Give me 1 second here. All right, I thought I had everything open and ready to go, but
Scott?
yes.
What I may do is give send a list to the general manager so that they can give it to the enrollers.
Okay.
So that.
Can everyone mute your phone, please? There's some background noise. Thank you.
So I'll give the general managers a list so that they can give it to the enrollers with the salaried managers. Because I know that several locations are going to say, well, I'm a supervisor. That may be their title, but they're not salary. Therefore, they're not eligible for the salary benefits. So
Okay.
I don't want the enrollers to start guessing, well, is a supervisor salary, is a, kitchen supervisor, or what they may call themselves a manager, which they're shift managers, which they're really just an hourly employee. So that way they don't have to guess and they'll be able to check the list. That way it'll help them differentiate who's salary and who's hourly.
Okay, great. Yeah, that will be helpful. And this is the document I was looking for. So critical illness, high and low, 10 and 20,000. You guys are all familiar with this. We have the cancer benefits as well. And second event for both of them, critical illness and cancer. $75 wellness on both plans. And this is already in force as well, already in place. So with that, we're just going to review the system for the Allstate benefits at this point. Maribel, you're free to hop off, or if you choose to. Same thing with Morris Reynolds, really. I mean, this is kind of an internal thing. If you want to stick on, you can, but otherwise, we're just going to review the system together.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Just, as long as the enrollers know who hourly and salary people are, and also as long as the employee knows their biweekly rate for these supplemental plans.
Yes.
That would help.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, if you guys don't have any questions for me, thank you guys for reviewing this today.
Thanks for joining, Maribel.
Thank you, Maribel. Thank you. Do you need anything?
Not a
Give us a call.
problem. I certainly will. Okay, guys. I'll see you Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Dan Oster. Just had a quick question since this is the first time working this account.
So the Universal Life is going to be, it's a new product, so it's GI for all employees. I'm assuming that on the critical illness, it's going to be EOI for those that didn't participate in the past.
Yeah, that's correct. The UL is actually CGI because there's the actively at work
Right.
question, and then the hospitalized in 6 months. So it's contingent guarantee issue. But you're right. That's the new product. The shop, of course, the group shop is going to be GI, and the accident's GI. But yeah, the critical illness, the term life, those ones are going to be fully underwritten.
Okay. For even for new hires or just for
Not
late
for
entrants?
hires. No, just for late entrants.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Which does bring up a point. New hire. There haven't been a lot of new hires that have taken action to enroll. So it could be their first opportunity. Julie,
Will we be seeing hires with an effective date different from April 1st?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Will we be seeing any new hires, like, say, that haven't exhausted their waiting period yet? Like, maybe their effective date won't be April 1st, or will everyone we see be April 1st?
It's definitely possible. You're just seeing the population that's working that day. So it's definitely possible to see someone that has not met their initial eligibility yet, which I do have to check on, actually. Julie, are you still on here?
I am, yes. They have hire date, eligibility date is first following 60 days. And I'd say the majority of the people that you'll be seeing will be April 1st, but there could be a handful that aren't. But it won't be very many. So
Okay.
I would ask hire dates. I think there's a spot.
If they don't know their hire date, will their hire date be already in All Out?
I think our census included the hire date, didn't it?
Yeah, I'll check on that. If it did, then it's loaded for sure, but I'll check to see if it was there.
Thank you.
And generally, doing this last year, the managers, help with that. It seems that the managers know more than the actual employee that was hired, as to when they were hired. So that's helpful. One thing about All App, you can use the downloaded version of this or the website, which is allapp.ahlcorp.com. And I'll send this link out as well. All of you are Allstate appointed agents, so we've added all of you to the case so that when you log in, you can see this case. And I'll pause here for a second and say, please log in today to make sure that you can see the case and have access to it. So I'm just going to...
Hey, Scott.
Yes.
It's Christine. Just a quick question. Are we bringing these enrollment forms with us so that they'll be there, or?
No. Morris Reynolds has made arrangements for the benefit enrollment guides and the enrollment forms to be on site.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Not the Allstate.
no, not the Allstate stuff. And then
Okay.
Christine, for you, Sylvia is bringing the Allstate brochures. Okay. And then Gary Carlos is coordinating with you to bring the brochures to Miami. And then the other guys are having theirs delivered as well.
Okay.
And they should arrive today or tomorrow. For those of you receiving them, Jared, Tim, Gary and Carlos, and then Sylvia. So actually, let me know if you don't receive them today. We're actually checking with Allstate to find out the status to see where they are. Did someone just join?
It was me. I'm so sorry. I was held up on another call.
No, that's okay. We have the whole enrollment team, and we have Julie's team from Morris Reynolds on. We've gone through the products. We're just about to review All App here.
Okay.
Yeah, just so you know, Scott, all of the guides and the enrollment forms and the United NHP summaries were all FedEx today to the various locations and will arrive tomorrow by 3.
Okay, perfect.
So they should all be on site by Wednesday morning.
Okay, great.
Even better. Okay.
So I just logged in the system. I'm going to go to employers. You're looking for Master Concessionaire, LLC. There are no other names here. Although I will say that when you get on site, it could be that for Orlando, for example, the restaurant is called Cask and Larder. It's a completely different name, but the name of the general company is Master Concessionaire. When you make contact with the managers, or if you have already made contact, they're the key person in this whole thing, because they're the ones that are going to meet you to get you through security to get to the other side. But also, they're very important in getting that flow of people to happen, which is the key to everything. Like I said, the manager in Orlando was fantastic last year. I think we saw every single person. And they had a second location in the airport. We saw them as well. So, and I think it was the same in Miami. Orlando and Miami are large locations. The other ones are a bit smaller, but we had good cooperation last time. So when you go into All App, you're going to see Atlanta, Miami, and Virginia. These are the different locations for billing purposes that were set up in the system. However, Miami signifies all of Florida. So that was the billing. The way that they wanted the billing to happen was set up, Key West, Orlando, Miami, everything under one umbrella, which is the Miami location there. You can click on all employees and then type in the search bar to pull them up. I'm looking for a specific one here. There it is. So we have a test person loaded in the system here. So we actually had already enrolled this person, so they're still showing here as monthly premium mode. But Christina, we do need to confirm that everyone loaded in the system is set up as biweekly. That was a very important point that the client made with us.
Okay.
And I think
everybody that I loaded the census today, this morning, after I confirmed all the information on it, and everybody was biweekly.
Okay, good. And like I said, I think this is showing up as monthly just for the pure fact that we had already enrolled this person. All right, so the group, hospital indemnity or shop, 2 packages, A and B, the high and the low. Remember, 800, it was 850 and 1350. Universal life insurance, critical illness, A and B. That's the high and the low, 10 and 20,000, and then the accident plan. So it's just a matter of signatures, right? So we have to use.
I'm sorry, Scott. The reason it did that. This is Jared. I went in there just like 5 seconds ago to make sure my SIG pad worked, and that's what all this is there for. Oh,
okay. You went into this person?
Yeah, I went into test the same one you're in.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, so the shop is pretty cut and dry. You choose the tier that you want. We've already selected the high or the low. You go in here, you choose the tier that you want. There's your premium, and again, remember this is monthly because we had already done this one monthly, but it'll show you the per pay period cost. That is the cost that you translate over to the enrollment, the paper enrollment form. So all of you guys are familiar with All App. You go into the product, you come back here, you go into the next product. You have to have a yes or no on each one of these in order to proceed. So let's go into the UL. Choose your face amount. Calculate. and then for 25,000 is 32.55 per pay, or monthly in this example because of this person. Critical illness, package A, already pre-selected. All right, and then you just choose the tier, tobacco status. You know, the life insurance and the critical illness are based on tobacco status as well. Get your premium. And then the accident plan.
Is the term life not on all that?
No, I sent a note today. Actually, the term life, who was that speaking?
Jared.
Oh, hey, Jared. Yeah, no. You didn't do the case last year, but the term life is a product that's not in All App. It's the group term life EGTL product, and it's a paper enrollment form. The rates are very simple. It is, I sent it to you today, though, to everyone.
Okay, gotcha.
Same thing last year, but that one is not in here. Good.
Enforcement.
All right, so I've got my plans elected or not, and then I can enroll. Now, what we did last year actually was there were three of us at the location, and we kind of did this process of, I think it was 2 people were doing the core benefits and the enrollment form, and then the third person was doing all that, whoever was most proficient with it, which wasn't me. So that was just it just made things kind of flow a little bit better. Certainly at Miami and Orlando, that would be some suggestion I would make there. And then we just fill out the rest of the application here. You guys are familiar with this. Does anyone not have a signature pad? Sylvia, I brought you 2 of them actually. Christine has one. David has one, I know. Anyone not have one? Okay, good. And you guys are familiar with this. Whatever questions are prudent to this application are going to come up here. You put in the beneficiaries, and you have them sign. I'm not going to go through the whole thing just for sake of time and the fact that I don't have a signature pad anyway. Replacement, producer, etc. So that pretty much covers everything. This is a re-enrollment, but we're introducing the new universal life policy with long-term care, and we're also introducing the group shop versus the individual shop. Again, the main focus for the client is medical participation. So we're going to do what we always do. We're going to, give equal time to all the benefits, allow the employee to make a decision, and document the transaction. Julie, is there anything else we should know, or anything I didn't cover that you think we should?
I can't think of anything. I saw something about EOI help on your All app. I was just curious, does that lead to an evidence of insurability app, or is that something that's separate?
Well, the EOI questions actually come up in the system. Those are the ones I was just actually on.
Okay.
On that prior page there. There's a few health questions that come up. The All app manages the health questions internally. So, and it knows based on the person's hire date whether they're a new hire or a late entrant. So it administers it all internally there. So when I go to enroll it, it looks at the hire date and asks the appropriate questions, or not, depending on the situation.
Great. Okay.
All right, and for my team, I'll be circling back with you later this afternoon and tomorrow to just make sure we've got everything buttoned up. I want to thank everyone for joining me on this enrollment, and I look forward to a very successful one.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Everyone else.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Scott, can I ask you one question?
Yeah, sure.
This is Julie still. Okay, afterwards, you'll send us a spreadsheet that shows all of the different elections for all the Allstate?
Yes, it'll show the elections and the deduction amount per pay period.
Okay, and you don't keep track of the core stuff. That's strictly on the papers that we're going to collect, correct?
Correct, that's right.
Okay. And then the second question is, did we make any headway in working out the billing issues or trying to get with Maribel to work those out?
Christina, are you still on?
I am still here. Hello?
Yeah.
Hi there.
So, Christina, what I was looking for there is for you to coordinate a call with the client, Morris Reynolds, and Allstate to dig into that and discover what the issue is and how it can be resolved.
Yep, I actually sent over to, I sent over to Allstate the billing coordinator for this group to find out some availability they would have as well. So I'll put another email out to them. I sent that on Thursday. I'll send an email reminder right now, and I'll send it to Maribel and Julie, and we can coordinate a time to get together.
Okay.
Okay.
Scott? Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, yeah, this is Dave. I do not have a signature pad.
Okay.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, Sylvia's bringing two with her, so you'll have one.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you for arranging this.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.